Bethesda left their own model after Fallout 4's release and then went on to make the MMORPG Fallout 76 and the procedural generated Starfield, many years have passed where fans have craved another replica of the Skyrim formula, but no one's come in and snapped up that space. It seems very strange to me. I'm not suggesting that any of these games should do that, as they've gone their own way and it's incredibly successful. It's just surprising that this is the closest that we've seen. They are all special in their own unique way, but even to this day, people still play Skyrim as they haven't found the game to move over to.
If you're here
No one has
purchase,
managed to copy the model Bethesda set within that game. Now, I'd argue Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is probably the closest.
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and random
monsters and a few.
What say you in your defense?
You'd probably be looking at the spiritual successor to Skyrim, but they went for a different angle, focusing on realism. Bethesda is a company that have burned their fans for years. They've lied to them and diverted from what made them so successful. I did a video on that here, but the bottom line is, since Skyrim, Bethesda have basically gone off to make poorer games. Fallout 4 has a mixed reception, Fallout 76 is an online looter shooter, and Starfield received loads of criticism. It's been 14 years
76 is the full story, like Skyrim.
Any leak of the Elder Scrolls 6, we all pay attention. Why? Because we never got a Skyrim 2. If we got
I'm back in fucking Whiterun.
Monsters like I mentioned,
oh my
we might
God.
give up on Bethesda. We might tell them to keep their Elder Scrolls 6 before moved on. But since none of those games have come in and replicated it exactly, we still hold our breath. Even Skyblivion's YouTube channel has over 250,000 subscribers. Fans are waiting and looking for anything that can match that formula that they loved in Skyrim, but so far, not quite. It's the only reason why Bethesda still has a fighting chance, because if I took 14 years to make a YouTube video, I doubt many people would still be sat here waiting for it. So why isn't there a Skyrim replica or a game that's followed the model to a T? Well, I have a few working theories, but they're only hypotheses. First of all, one reason could be that the creation engine used by Bethesda provides a substantial amount of interactivity with the environment. So to match this, other studios would have to spend a lot of time and resources in order to match it, and they may just feel that it's not worth it. It requires commitment to a design that's not very optimal in terms of payoff. Bethesda themselves have had many issues with their own engine, and Starfield was an example of this. Video here. Another angle could be that Bethesda know their formula so well, so they were able to improve with each release, as we saw from Morrowind, then Oblivion, and then Skyrim. Each game was a slightly improved version. Other companies would be starting from scratch on a project of very large scope, which wouldn't guarantee the same level of success. So they go in another direction and make their own style that's unique to them in order to stand out, rather than copy a Bethesda model, which has now shown its age with games like Starfield. And finally, it could just be that Skyrim was lightning in a bottle. It was the perfect game at the perfect time. It's known now to be as wide as an ocean and as deep as a puddle. Maybe in 2011, we accepted this, and nostalgia has made this game stand out to us and survive the times. But maybe, if we got Skyrim today, in 2025, we would be disappointed.
Yep.
Maybe we can never get another Skyrim because even though people may want it, when it actually arrives, we may no longer feel that way. I spoke to a young man the other night in his early 20s, and I asked him what he thought about Skyrim. He said he didn't really play it, but he loved Elden Ring. So maybe the gaming world has just moved on, and even though I and others may beg for a second Skyrim-like game, or a game with the exact same formula, maybe it wouldn't be a success. And if a studio took that gamble and it didn't pay off, well, that could be the end. Dragon's Dogma 2 is a good example, as it was so close to the Skyrim formula, but when you look at the reviews, it was very divisive. Any of these reasons could be the main focus on why no studio has tried to copy the Skyrim model stride for stride. So, will anyone ever take that spot? Well, that leads me to a game that I do have high hopes for, The Wayward Realms. Under the direction of Ted Peterson and Julian LeFay, the lead developers of the team that worked on Elder Scrolls Arena and Daggerfall, Once Lost Games is creating a new open-world fantasy RPG where your choices, consequence, scope, and role-playing will be experienced just on a grander scale than a Skyrim. Essentially, this game will be just like the Elder Scrolls series, but larger. Way bigger than most of the games that we think of today. Big cities with hundreds or thousands of NPCs, deep, dark, dangerous forests, gigantic mountain ranges, sprawling swamps, marshlands, vast oceans, and much more. You create your own character and create your own story. It looks like a natural evolution to a game like Skyrim, and it pretty much ticks all the boxes required. It is a game that I'm personally very excited for, and it's set to release in 2025. My only concern is that they will be using procedural
What
generated
business do
content
college
to
majors
make
have
the
in a
game.
place like
Now, I'm
Sarthal
sure
anyway?
there's a way to make
It's
a
a
great
place for
game
no
while
dead.
using that, but
What a weird
I'm a fan of
experiments.
handcrafted content. Also, I have never seen it used effectively. It always sort of feels watered down to me. But either way, I'm very excited about this game.
What did you think Skyrim was?
Now, just to say, I love all these games. I would argue that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Witcher 3 are probably better games than Skyrim, at least for me personally. I've played a lot of open world RPGs that I would consider equal to or greater than Skyrim.
You are new to Morthal.
My point
You're not
is that
supposed.
no one
If you
game has
stand
come in
before me
and
to
managed
accuse
to
me
be
of
its replacement.
sacrificing
They've
children or eating the hearts of the dead, you may save your breath. I have done no such thing, nor do I intend. The people of Morth, if they choose to fear me in their ignorance, that's their choice. But it will not change what is true. The marsh is treacherous. You would do well to not wander at night. I know many things. I have met Daedra and Dwemer and everything in between, and I know enough to see a... It is possible, I know of... When you have a gem and have filled it, return to me and I will perform the ritual. I will bring life to your dead body, vampire.
Huh?
Is it true that you kill deer and eat their hearts?
What? Where did you hear such a thing?
I don't know. Someone what said it?
It's... My talents are much needed here in order to keep... I would not sell it to just anyone, but I'll make an exception for you. Which is utterly useless at the moment. You need to fill it with a soul.
Yeah, I don't want to do like all of this stupid shit. I didn't want vampirism in the first place. Yeah, I guess I could. I could do that. God damn it. With a grand soul in it. A black soul gem with a grand soul. That's insane. Ugh.
Do you like magic?
If you stand before me to... I have done no such thing. The people, if they choose to fear me in their ignorance, that's that. I know many things. I have met Daedra and Dwemer, and it is possible. When you have a gem and have filled it, return to me and I will perform the ritual. I will bring life to your dead body, vampire. My talents are much needed here in order to keep Morthal. They are rare things. I have one. I would not sell it to just anyone, but I'll make an exception for you. Which is utterly useless at the moment. You need to fill it with a soul.
I'm just gonna cheat. This takes so much time out of my playthrough. I mean, it is part of the playthrough, I suppose. I resist frost by 100%.
Well, aren't you the pretty one? I bet all the men chase after you. Why, good evening, Yana.
What can I get you, Alva?
What can't you get me, sweetie?
Did you want something to eat?
Eat? No, I don't think I'm hungry. Not now, at least.
Right. Okay. Tell me if you change your mind.
I could cheat or I could fill the black soul gem. The problem with the black soul gem is I think I've got other soul gems. And I don't know if they will fill first or what. Yeah, so like I need to see. I have 4 greater soul gems that are empty. I will have to give all of my empty soul gems except for the black one to an alt, which is just, this is so much time and effort. I don't really want to do it. You know? Oops. Oh, so no, this isn't that hard. All I have to do is go like melee kill a humanoid, which is not that hard, but I'll have to roam the fucking roads to do it. And I'll need to sleep in the inn till the day, and I'll have to like roam the roads looking for some bandit or some non-essential, and just like slay the melee really fast.
Place, but then the world
There ain't much to offer. Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
Yeah, give me like 12 hours, and I'll go out on the roads looking for some hapless victim. It's fucking annoying.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
I'm bored, Benor. Nobody wants to have any fun with me.
If you leave that Kinslayer car, I would be happy to keep your company.
Drogar doesn't have to know if we sit together or drink together. I doubt he would even care.
You tempt me mightily, Alpha, but I wouldn't cuckold another man, even a murderer like Rogar.
The people here work so hard, and they never allow themselves a moment of fun. It's such a pity. It lasts forever, though.
Mort, you ask me, we'd be better.
Yep, so now we go out on the roads looking for
My mother and father died years ago.
some non-essential to slay. Can't go in the water.
These people are like cattle. All they do is work, sleep, and eat.
dead stuff for some reason. Or probably me. I probably would kill them. So now we just look for a guard or some kind of fucked up non-essential on the road. I might even have to get busted again to do this or whatever, but I'm going to try and kill somebody. I'm going to knock them down with the big AoE spell, and then I'm going to fucking try and kill them with my sword so I can get a black soul gem. That's hard to do. Yeah, I might have to roam the roads for a long time too, like before I find a patrol or like a bandit or something. What's Stone Hills? Let's see, Stone Hills. This guy's packed.
Zordy and I are just here to make sure the mine is run proper.
There's a Hallmark guard.
An alchemist, Never could get the hang of that.
Sear
I guess the
guard.
Empire's going to need plenty of iron with all the fighting.
Here's a smelter.
For us, I suppose.
A lot of people here, but no one non-essentials. Or I mean, I could take the guard, but it'll aggro the whole town. Die, beast. Maybe there's a bandit in this cave.
The itch in other ways, or they've improved on it in some aspects, like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2's world is probably more realistic than Skyrim's, but none of them have come in and managed to bring the whole package. If someone asks, what game is most similar to Skyrim, you can't answer that question definitively without having to add in a, yeah, but this part is different. This game's sort of like Skyrim, but it's different in this way. After 14 years of the release of one of the most successful games ever, and a dedicated fan base who are still loyal to this game and still play it even today, and craving another game like it, it amazes me that we're still sat here in 2025 without a direct replacement. That's either huge testament to Bethesda or a huge gap in the gaming market. I love all these games that I've just listed, and I've enjoyed them greatly. But outside of other Bethesda titles, none would make me say, well, I don't need Skyrim anymore, I can throw it in the bin. This is the new Skyrim. If you want that true, unmatched Skyrim experience, the only game you can really play is Skyrim. But anyway, that's it for this one. Sorry I never really landed on a point, but I just kind of want to have a discussion about it. I mean, what do you guys think? Which game do you think is the closest to a Skyrim? Do you know of any other games that are touted to be the next Skyrim? Or do you think the games I listed have exceeded it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please give it the thumbs up. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I'm Av Gaming, where we do video game analysis, identifying what makes great games great, and what could make good games great as well. Thanks for watching. Av out.
Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon. Yeah, I forgot this game existed. The Tainted Grail. I've never played this before.
In this Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon video, I'm going to be kind of taking you...
With the lore, gonna be satisfying overall. In fact, personally, playing mostly as a melee user before eventually becoming leveled enough to spec into the stealth archer, something I enjoyed about these fights is the impactful feeling of our hits. The way that enemies respond to a sword in the face, which is difficult to convey in words, but it just kind of feels snappy, I guess. Couple that with the parry and dodge mechanics, and things become pretty fast-paced all round, as we try to get hits in whilst carefully watching the stamina bar. We don't want to drain it too quickly, lest you become temporarily exhausted. I did initially feel very much at a disadvantage in the earlier game, often getting one-shotted with very little warning. But after leveling a bit into various attributes and skills, which we'll also get to, equipping a shield and decent armor, things felt a lot more balanced and fair, whilst still forcing you, the player, to have good timing, and not getting too greedy with attacks. In fact, it's probably closer in difficulty to Kingdom Come Deliverance rather than Skyrim. So looking first at melee combat, we have a few different options for builds, namely the question of whether to wield a one- or two-handed weapon. Two-handed, of course, leaves little room to use anything else alongside, but can deliver far more powerful single strikes. Though one-handed means we can also equip a spell.
What? You kill me instantly! There's 7 or 8 people standing around you, wailing on you, and you kill me instantly. I don't believe it. Come on, man.
Unarmed attacks. So yes, you can be a bare-bones brawler. But moving on now to ranged, and most importantly, everyone's favorite build, the Stealth Archer. Something that will be possible to level your way up to with archery and sneak perks, but thankfully isn't immediately viable. And you'll probably need to fall back on some melee and spells first in order to get to this point. In fact, ranged combat in general has been nerfed in order to give the leveling system behind it a lot more weight and value. There's also a range of different bow types, from speedy short bows to slower, more stamina intensive, but also much more powerful great bows. Again, the earlier archery bows are specifically designed to reduce stamina consumption when using a bow, but speccing into just that initially will make you extremely glass cannon-y. Finally is the magic system, and one of the main things that the devs have been working on with this is allowing you to cast more spells during combat. They'll be less intensive on your mana bar overall, and also have light and heavy cast variants. And different spell types will also be particularly effective against specific enemies. For instance, attacking the Straw Father in the wheat fields of Quinax will destroy his straw coats and deal massive damage, leaving us now to fight a much more gruesome-looking, literal bare-bones enemy. Now, for the purposes of showing you some more upcoming content of the game, the devs have also given me access to their gameplay test area, whereby we can spawn in different foes to face off against, whilst also testing many of the new weapons and spells. Originally, there was also summoning as part of the magic system as well, though that's been taken out for now, until they can resolve some issues with the AI. Fire and Ice are two of the classic core spell types here, but also excitingly is the opportunity to become a blood mage, with a number of life-draining spells, which I found to be perfect for recouping the health lost here and there during any given fight. Spells also are great for applying status effects, which happens after we fill this little grey indicator with enough of that type of damage. Though these two have seen a rebalance, you're not instantly going to be able to apply burn to an enemy much more powerful than you, and it may take several quick succession hits to fully fill that effect meter. Effects like burn can also be applied to weapons via the use of relics, but we'll get to that in a later chapter. Now, personally, the classic sword and shield approach is actually my favourite way to play for the time being. It's very satisfying, I think, to time up all those dodges, strikes, and parries properly. Though I have also started to perhaps overindulge in the stealth archer method since speccing more into those skill trees. But let me know in the comments which of these playstyles you like the look of most and why. Speaking of the skill trees though, it's time we took a look at those in a little more detail. Fall of Avalon does, of course, have a pretty comprehensive, but also often familiar character development system. XP is gained by defeating enemies and completing quests, which in turn allows us to level up, unlocking more points for both attributes and perks, which we can buy up when resting at campfires that can be freely placed in the open world and stoked with ethereal cobwebs. Now, attributes are more influential on the 6 base stats, which we can spec into, with each point offering more basic stat boosts about finding weapons and armors in the world, as there's also several mechanics now relating to crafting. Very often, we'll be able to obtain crafting specs, allowing us to make can join up with to enjoy more extended additional questlines, fleshing out the world's lore, granting new gear or abilities, whilst also, by pursuing these questlines to their ends, unlocking some additional game endings, presumably in a similar way to how games like Cyberpunk do. For instance, after defeating the Mistbearer, a very cool new boss which kinda reminds me of a Leshen from The Witcher, I was able to join up with the Alchemist Guild, and I look forward to seeing where that leads in future updates. There's also, for those of you interested in keeping up with the lore, going to be a codex of places, characters and creatures for keeping track of what's what. Another big part of exploration, though, is what happens during the night. See, at this point, the weirdness becomes significantly more powerful, corrupting the likes of outlaws and bandits to make them more feral and zombie-like. There's also a ton of spirits that spawn during this point, including one called the Weird Stalker, who in the full game is supposed to be this constant presence, stalking you and getting closer throughout the night. Sounds like a pretty terrifying concept, though for now it's more of a deadly jump scare. Though fortunately, the terrifying nighttime segment isn't too much trouble to get through, as in the open world we can set up campfires to rest and advance time. These will be powered by something called ethereal cobwebs, which will be integral to the weirdness system, and seems like one of the most effective ways of repelling it, alongside these colossal menhir statues. And an effective way of gathering these cobwebs, if you're running low in fact, is as loot, by defeating some of these nighttime creatures. So kind of a cool loop there. And finally, whilst the basic outline of each region will be visible from the off, the new Fog of War mechanic will mean you actually need to explore areas before details and points of interest become revealed. Okay, now it's time to take a look at the game's combat, and again, drawing comparisons to Skyrim isn't a bad place to start, with the 3 core builds comprising of melee, ranged, and magic. All of this has received a complete rebalance for the coming updates, with the magic system especially being rebuilt from the ground up to feel much more fluid and satisfying overall. In fact, personally, playing mostly as a melee user before eventually becoming leveled enough to spec into the Stealth Archer, something I enjoyed about these fights is the impactful feeling of our hits. The way that enemies respond to a sword in the face, which is difficult to convey in words, but it just kind of feels snappy, I guess. Couple that with the parry and dodge mechanics, and things become pretty fast-paced all round.
So with the new Oblivion remake essentially all but confirmed at this point, I want
Give up what you That's the best you can do! running. No
so
more.
I can stab you in the back.
No more. I yield. I yield.
You won't live to see tomorrow.
If I can just stand up.
God damn it. Fucking Conjurer was down. She killed me before I could get her. Fucking what the fuck was this?
No.
What? No, come on. You did not kill me. You're not even standing on me. What are you talking about, piece of shit?
You won't live to
Oh, come on, fucking cheater. Your fucking melee is faster than the fucking animation. It's insane. Ah, you fucking assholes. Why? Leave me alone. Oh, you're so annoying.
live to see tomorrow.
Fucking assholes.
No. Not like this.
Yes, like this. Why are you one-shotting me instantly? Stop.
I swear I'll kill you.
You killed my query. You're so fucking annoying. Where is my team? Where are they? They're never here when I need them. I'm alone here. Why? What the fuck's your problem? Nah, reload. You're a worthless piece of shit developer. Skyrim's not even that good either.
I can take you.
God damn it, what did you do? You locked me up, removed my controls, and one-shot me. Fuck is that?
Can't wait to count out your coin.
Time to die.
She healed to half health. What the fuck is that? She was at 1 health. What are you talking about?
Gonna split your belly like an old woman's purse.
So annoying. What? Oh my god, you like lock the animation so you can one-shot me. It's insane. What? Oh my god, your one-shots are bullshit. Your fucking one-shots are retarded. Fucking one-shots are such cheater-ass bullshit. Wow. Like, how are they doing my entire bar before I can do this guy's 5 health? What? Fucking assholes. Fucking asshole devs. What? It's like you just won't let me have it. You're like, nah, you can't kill her. And I'm like, yes, I can. Yes, I can. You fucking assholes. Fucking dick. Fucking dick. Where's my team? I have 7 people, except not when I need them. No. Piece of shit 20-year-old game. Where's my team? What the fuck? See?
Watch it. Had enough of you. I'm on your side.
Wait, my weapon, is it out? It is.
Count out your phone. I'll see you in pieces.
You think
What
I'm
are you
afraid
doing?
of nothing
What
but
are you
this?
doing?
Death is finally overrated.
Watch it.
I can take it. Please don't kill me. Come on, let's see you put up a fight.
He killed me. Fucking dick. Fucking dick. Why is it that I have to do 45,000 melee blows and you only have to do 1? Why? You can't do math, piece of shit developers? You can't do math.
You think I'm afraid?
You're such a best. Mercy.
The death is highly overrated. Come on, let's see.
There, the black soul gem. Did I get it? Yeah, I got it. I got it. Okay, go. Fucking asshole. Okay, I'm gonna go back west down the road to Morthal, but first I want the loot. Fucking asshole, he was particularly nasty save.
Guide me!
In the wrong way.
Come on, let's see you put up a fight.
This ends now!
Sheriff's deputy overdoses while smoking fentanyl. Oh my god.
So Avowed has been out for a little
Thank you,
over a
Big
week
Dan
now,
Gaming.
and
I've
the
liked and subbed to your
reception to
channel.
The game has been somewhere between mixed and indifferent. And I think one of the big reasons that Avowed is failing to resonate with the core RPG audience is that the game is a bit shallow on its RPG mechanics, especially when compared to Obsidian's past games such as Fallout New Vegas and The Outer Worlds. So let's do a bit of a comparison, shall we? In this video, we're going to take a look at Fallout New Vegas, which Obsidian released in 2010, and compare it to Avowed. Specifically, I want to focus on comparing the companions, world interactivity, skill checks, and player choice. And while you're watching the video, I want you to keep in the back of your mind that Fallout New Vegas was developed in just 18 months, while Avowed was in production for roughly 6 years. Just something to ponder.
6 years.
What's up, everyone? Big Dan here. I make videos about RPGs, so if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's buckle up, grab some iced coffee, and dive into the video. So let's kick things off with world interactivity. This is something that is sorely lacking in Avowed, and was one of the more disappointing aspects of the game for me, considering just how much players could impact the world in past Obsidian titles like The Outer Worlds and New Vegas. In Fallout New Vegas, if you attacked an NPC or got caught stealing an item, they would take notice and become hostile. Also, there were no immortal NPCs. If you wanted to, you could kill any NPC in the game, including potential companions, quest givers, and characters who played a major role in the game's story. In Avowed, there is no crime system, and it's impossible to kill or damage NPCs in any way, unless they are specifically marked as enemies or become hostile during quests. And not only do they take no damage, they have zero reaction at all. Bethesda games like Starfield and Skyrim have lots of invincible NPCs that the player cannot kill, but they will at least react to you shooting or hitting them. On the polar opposite end of the spectrum, it is possible to beat the entirety of Fallout New Vegas without killing a single NPC. It does require a bit of finagling, and you will have to sneak or run past some hostile
My talents
characters,
are much
but if you
very
want to do a
well.
pacifist run, it is
Meet me at the
totally
summoning
possible.
circle
You
in
can
the
even
marsh at
bypass
dawn.
the final boss
We shall
fight of
banish
the
the
game if you
creature.
have 100 speech. This is not possible in Avowed. While you can
Well,
run past a lot of the mobs in the game, there are certain enemies that you will
Have you
need
been
to
working on
kill
your
in order to
concentration?
unlock doors to progress through the main
Yes, sir.
quest. So a
Uh-huh.
pacifist run is
Good.
impossible.
Concentration
The
is
only
paramount
interactions
in
you can
dealing with
have with
magical
the world
forces.
of Avowed
Why?
are looting, solving
Because an
puzzles,
unfocused
dialogue,
mind will
and
almost
combat.
certainly be
That's
obliterated.
basically it. And while the
Destroyed
combat
by the
and core
forces which
gameplay
are
loop of
controlling
Avowed
you.
is very fun, the ways in which we can interact.
Have no fear. I believe it is within you to excel in your studies, but you must learn to concentrate.
Yes, sir.
Interact with the world are painfully limited compared to a game like New Vegas.
You here to pay your respects too? It commemorates the Battle of Hoover Dam. The Rangers lured the best of Caesar's Legion into Boulder City and blew the whole town up.
Fools are actually fighting!
What the fuck are you doing? My brother died at the Battle of Hoover Dam. You're desecrating a war memorial.
My talents are much needed here in order to keep Morthal safe.
Oh no, it's on.
All right then.
Get him! Get him! There was one moment in the latter half of Avowed which really pissed me off.
Morthal is a troubled
the third
place.
map,
It's my
you
duty to
stumble
see it
upon
rest
a man
in peace.
faking an illness and calling out for help. When you approach him, a bunch of his bandit homies jump out of the bushes and
My
ambush
money's
you.
on the big
So in
one.
my second playthrough, I thought I'd be clever and sneak up on the bandits. Ain't nobody gonna gank me this time. But you know what happens if you sneak up on the bandits? Nothing. You can't
My
attack
talents
them
are much
or deal
needed
any
here in
damage. You can only kill them once they pop out of the bushes and start the ambush. What kind of bullshit is that, bro?
Hey, watch what you're doing. All right then.
I was reminded of a similar ambush in Fallout New Vegas. While following the road out of Nipton, there's a group of Viper gang members who will attack you in the canyon. But if you've played the game before or happen to spot them...
What? Everything in the game one-shots me. It's so stupid.
Vegas doesn't make you wait until the ambush begins to start the fight, unlike Avowed. Vegas also has much deeper mechanics than Avowed when it comes to faction dynamics. In Avowed, you will meet a lot of different factions like the Steel Garrote, Paradisian Rebels, etc., but there's no way that we actually engage with these factions in gameplay. Sometimes you can make decisions in the main story and side quests that will anger or please particular factions, which is good, but in most cases it doesn't really impact anything outside of some dialogue. The only exception I can think of is some of the vendors in Thirdborn raised their prices after I made some quest choices that negatively impacted the town. In Fallout New Vegas, your character has a reputation score with each faction in the game that will rise or fall based on decisions you make in the game world. Having a high faction reputation
money's on the
can lead
big
to
one.
characters giving you free items or discounted merchandise. You can also get them to speak more freely about certain topics, which can open up new quests or alternate solutions to quests. On the other hand, having a low faction reputation will cause members of that group to basically be like, It's on site, bro. On top of this, the game has a faction armor and disguise system, which you can use to infiltrate certain areas you typically wouldn't have access to, or unlock certain conversation options. Some factions will also refuse to work with you depending on your faction allegiance, but I'll touch on that more later in the video. Vault 3 is a location in New Vegas that is overrun by a faction known as the Fiends, which is basically a gang of crackheads. There are a couple of quests that will send you to Vault 3, but the Fiends won't just let you waltz into the vault, unless you can pass the speech check.
What is that thing?
One clever way to bypass this speech skill check is to put on a Great Khan's outfit, which is another gang the Fiends do business with. So wearing the right faction armor can allow you to gain access to the vault without having to fight your way through a bunch of junkies. Avowed doesn't have anything like this. There's no faction disguise system, no faction reputation system, hell, no reputation system, period. But another big part of both New Vegas and Avowed are the companions. So let's take a closer look at how we interact with these characters. Avowed has 4 companions who will join us on our journey, compared to 8 characters in Fallout 6 if we don't count the robot and the dog. All of Avowed's companions are mandatory. We can't choose to not recruit any of them. Or you into pieces! There are no decisions we can make that will piss them off enough to leave us or become hostile, with the exception of one specific choice at the very end of the game. Let's see how Marius reacts when we destroy his hometown with lava near the end of the game.
What killed me instantly? Come on. Piece of shit developers.
I don't get why you think you have the right to decide what every person in this house needs. Who the fuitu do you think you are? Agree to ballistic disorder.
That's a pissy conversation. Hey, sorry I destroyed your hometown. Oh, lava under the bridge though, right? Compare this with Boone in Fallout New Vegas. Boone is a soldier in the MCR, and he has a deep hatred of Caesar's Legion for both personal and political reasons. If you even approach a Legion camp with Boone in your party, he pulls you aside and says this.
We're near a Legion slave camp now. I've been here before. Let's get one thing straight. I see any crimson, I'm taking a shot. You don't like that, you're on your own. Okay, well, let's make sure to come back here. I'd love to wipe this place off the map.
And Homeboy is not joking. If you get anywhere near the Legion, he will start indiscriminately firing on them.
Oh my.
So if you want to do any Legion quest content, then you literally have to dismiss Boone from your party while you do it. Some companions or potential companions will literally try to kill you, depending on your faction reputation. For instance, if you wipe out the Brotherhood of Steel before meeting Veronica, then instead of joining your party, she's like, catch these hands.
Good, you're here.
Lying, are you? You really did kill them.
As you desire.
In that case, this is for them.
I call upon Oblivion Realms, the home of those who are not our ancestors. Answer my plea. As in death there is new life, in Oblivion there is a beginning for that which has ended. I call forth that power. Accept the soul that we offer. As the sun ends the night, end the darkness of this soul. Return life to the creature you see before you. The ritual is complete. Mordor is a troubled place. It's my duty.
Fucking annoying. No, wait, I want to look at active effects now. I'm no longer a vampire. The Dark Knight is over. It's the Lost Boys. There's so much death battle out here. This place has a lot of cool design. I need to stand by a fire somewhere.
To a group of gun runners.
Hi, I'm John Baptiste, and you're about to stop being a pain in my ass. But oh, that was fun. Did you see the look on that bitch's face? Priceless.
Avowed doesn't even have a fraction of the type of interaction
What the
that you
fuck?
can have with companions in New Vegas, which led to a very disappointing experience in this dynamic for me. Skill checks in Avowed are also painfully shallow compared to Fallout New Vegas. Avowed has 6 attributes, which you
Because Avowed's not a fucking Skyrim game, it's a combat game. And while the combat's good, it's not a mini.
Those flames get out of control, and you're gonna wish they hadn't.
Running an inward. Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
Occasionally show up as skill checks in dialogue. Fallout New Vegas has 7 attributes and 13 different skills, including explosives, speech, lockpicking, etc. Not to mention a whole lot of perks that sometimes will give us skill checks as well. Skill checks in New Vegas usually unlock new options in quests and conversations. For instance, during Ghost Town Gunfight, Doc Mitchell will give you free stim packs if your medicine skill is high enough.
Let me know
And
if there's
Easy
anything
Pete will
else
give you free dynamite if your explosive skill is high enough. Another example is using a skill check to get into the New Vegas Strip. Usually you need to have a passport
Your
or
business with the
2,000
yard.
caps.
I'd ask
One
that you
way
speak to me
bypass
first.
this requirement is to hack the security robot with a high science skill. Unlike New Vegas, most skill checks in Avowed simply
Yes?
provide flavor dialogue. In most cases, they have zero impact on the actual quest or conversation.
Yeah.
The one exception I can think of off the top of my head is during the quest One Last Drink. If your resolve skill is high enough, you can persuade Ruanga to meet her former captain in Thirdborn, which opens up the option to either poison him or poison Ruanga, leading to different endings for the quest. This was a cool outcome, but unfortunately, these kinds of skill checks are few and far between in Avowed. While there are a good amount of significant narrative and quest choices that the player can make in Avowed, many of these decisions are strictly on rails. The player doesn't have much freedom to think outside the box and search for unique ways to solve a particular problem. And I think the best comparison I can make is how we deal with the assassin Equal versus Benny in Fallout New Vegas. There are a lot of parallels between these two main quest objectives. At the beginning of Fallout New Vegas, our main character is shot in the head by a dude named Benny. And a big part of our quest in Act 1 is to track down and confront the shady checkered suit-wearing man. There are a ton of different ways you can deal with Benny when you finally track him down in New Vegas. In fact, the first video I ever posted on this YouTube channel, almost 6 years ago at this point, walks you through all the different ways you can deal with Benny. You can just walk in and shoot him, you can gather evidence of his crimes, and convince one of his underlings to send him alone to his suite, allowing you to get the drop on him. You can negotiate a deal with him. You can even sleep with him if you're a female character, and take the opportunity to kill him. And if he gets away, there's a whole other scenario where you can deal with him at the Legion Fort later on, which has a bunch of additional choices. It's staggering how much freedom of choice you have in your quest to deal with Benny. So, how does Avowed stack up? Well, we are confronted with an eerily similar scenario in Act 1. Our character gets killed by a mystery assassin, and we're brought back to life in a literal Deus Ex Machina. So our first big main quest is to find the guy who killed us and bring him to justice. But when we eventually track him down, we just have two choices. We either spare him and leave, or we kill him. That's it. And sure, we do get some different consequences depending on our choice, but we still only have two choices here. And these choices can only be approached in the exact same linear way once we find Egwolf. Again, it comes back to the world interactivity and the skill checks. We as a player just don't have as much agency in Avowed when compared to other games made by the same studio in the past. The last example I want to touch on is a side quest in the third region of the game. You stumble upon a ghost town and hear screams of a banshee-like creature in a blocked-off well. After finding your way into the mine entrance, you discover that a group of Adairan researchers are experimenting on the Dream Scourge, which, if you haven't played the game, they're basically zombies. This type of research is punishable by death, so the three researchers are plotting what to do next. You can either petition to get them supplies so they can run off on their own, you can kill the Dream Scourge to cover up evidence of their crimes, or you can kill them and put them out of their misery before they get punished by the Steel Garrote. But if you choose the last option, you can only kill one of the researchers. The other two just run off and they're completely immune to damage. So I was just left there scratching my head like, what the f was that ending? What kind of choice is that, dude? So at the end of the day, while I enjoyed Avowed for what it is, I sunk over 80 hours into the game after all and had a lot of fun doing so, I can't help but notice the stark drop in depth when compared to other games made by the same studio in the past, including The Outer Worlds, which I'll have another comparison video on that in the near future. I don't know if it was the troubled development of the game, or the lack of a consistent creative vision, or something else, but Avowed ended up not meeting the quality bar I've come to expect from Obsidian Games. So there you have it. We've taken a look at two games made by the same studio, 15 years apart. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to Big Dan Gaming for more RPG videos. Big shout out to all the channel members for supporting my content.
So I was playing Avowed, and I wasn't being loud, and I said out loud that I'm not even gonna make a video about Avowed. That's how much littleness I care about the Avowed franchise, where I'm not even gonna make a video about this game. It's not the worst game of all time. Objectively, Balan is probably much worse, but Balan is also much funnier, and that's why I kept playing Balan, and I knew that I had to make a video about that game when the farmer started dancing. Avowed spends all of its funniness points on the character creation screen.
What is that? They got this guy out here?
look like a fucking Thanksgiving. Compared to Zelda, the water graphics look like a water buffalo. Once you select the Thanksgiving-themed character, it's like the funniness has evaporated, and you're now walking through a barren wasteland of unfunny gameplay.
Oh gods! What's the matter with your face?
What's wrong with my face?
Don't go
You
setting
hit
the place on
spiders,
fire,
you pick up a
okay?
book, you accept a quest from Janice, but it doesn't even let you chop anybody's head off. They won't even let you kill Brentus. And that's
Sorely,
because
I
Avowed is a game designed by a Brentus like mind, and that's why I'm not even gonna do a video about it.
We're being hunted. Get rid of the band. We'll talk after.
That's the
trying to
worst
make a
prize
living.
ever. Avowed is
No
the type of
interest in
RPG where the townspeople are suffering from the famine, but leave cabbages sitting on the floor. It's the type of RPG where seagulls are slower than snails.
I'm just here to work the mine. Nothing else matters anymore.
This is like the reverse
My name's
sequel of Sonic Frontiers. Wait, where'd it go? It's the type of RPG where Brentus can never be attacked. It's the type of RPG where I'm not even gonna do a video about
You
this.
get used to the cold after a while.
Oh, you
Harder
do get to
work,
kill
the
Brentus.
warmer you stay.
Oh, cool.
Don't get too excited.
Now I'm gonna jump off like Assassin's Creed.
I wonder how many poor souls have lost their lives working these tunnels.
I don't get how the game is woke. I almost fell asleep in the intro. They do have dinosaurs as an enemy, and I always like to see dinosaurs as an enemy. You can never go wrong with Dino, but they don't have any funny attacks or moves. Look at the bear. How come you can't do that move, you dumb damn dinosaur? I think what really hurt my 1 hour experience with this game is that the game I played before this was Star of Providence, where the gameplay is like this. How's that apple?
Disrespect the law, you disrespect me.
Go for another bite.
That's your next time.
The outside world.
Maybe it's unfair to compare these games because Star Providence was made by 4 people that wanted to make it, where Avowed was made by 100 people who didn't. A better Star game to compare it against would probably be Starfield, which was also published by Xbox. In that game, it took 12 hours for the game to get fun. Maybe I didn't play Avowed long enough for it to get to the fun part. We'll never know because I'm not doing a video about it.
Your face, it's so...
It's so what?
Right, I don't like to make negative videos on YouTube, but I made the terrible decision of treating myself to Avowed for 70 euros because I like the developers Obsidian quite a lot. You know, Pentiment was lovely, and I made Fallout New Vegas my entire personality for like a year, and so I was very much looking forward to Avowed being a continuation of this level of quality. But instead, it's just really, really not great. And a lot of people are pointing to the dialogue as sort of the main problem with this game. And whilst the dialogue is absolutely horrendous, and we'll get to that in just a minute,
Since when do you make the rules? Since I arrived with the big sword.
the problems go well beyond that, and I think everything from the combat to the exploration to the actual world itself has something cripplingly wrong with it, and it just leaves so much to be desired. But let's just start with the dialogue and the characters, because honestly, every single character in this game just talks way too much, just constantly babbling on and on about nothing.
Another recruit. By the flames, Cedric finds the strangest types. Oh, she said that, did she? I knew she was sweet on me. Spar with me. Let me show you exactly what this unparalleled man-at-arms can do.
I would really prefer if you would be quiet.
But no one is more annoying than this blue, fish-looking idiot here, because this guy sort of just lumps on you as your companion at the start of the game, and just will not stop talking, constantly running his mouth and making little comments about every single thing you do. And it's not like they're sort of insightful, lore-building, world-developing comments. They're just sort of like funny, Marvel-style quips.
Now we know why the expedition team abandoned that puzzle.
it weren't for the creepy woman and these creepy roots, this place would be kind of nice. Guess the deer and discipline doesn't apply to pest control.
Another win, but who's counting?
Bet that was part of something once. Whatever the Inquisitor's like, she can't be worse than that baby.
You come across this patrol you're looking for, and everyone's dead. And rather than being like, oh no, like what a tragedy, like who killed them, why did they die, blah 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 blah, you know, a genuine normal reaction. This idiot's just like, oh, looks like we found the patrol. It's just like, be quiet, this is a room full of dead people and your first choice is to make a quip? You're actually a psychopath to do that. Like, the developers clearly think this guy's like really cool because he's flipping all over this game. Like, every single time he talks to anyone, he chimes in with his little opinions. But like, imagine if you knew this guy in real life. Imagine if you had to work with this guy in the office. Like, just trying to go about your daily life, you know, eating lunch, like having a salad. He's going, oh, got a salad there, have we? It's like, be quiet. It's so boring. But yeah, that maybe sounds like nitpicky. Like, okay, there's one annoying guy in this game, but it just, this mindset just applies to everyone. Like, you're meant to be this high-ranking envoy sent by the Emperor himself personally to this sort of rubbish little island, and the first person you meet there is just like, oh fuck, sorry we're late. It's just sort of, it's the professionalism. Like, I'm literally your boss, and the first thing you do is swear. There's just nothing's allowed to be sincere. You know, there's no genuine energy behind any of these conversations.
Take care, envoy.
What? No parting words from me after all the time we spent together?
Shove off, muttonhead. How's that for a parting word?
Everything's run through quips and witty banter and like back and forth rapid dialogue. It's just sort of, I don't know why games aren't allowed to be sincere. Everything has to be, have this veil of irony over it. And so you might think, like, this is an Obsidian game. If this blue fish guy annoys you, just tell him to go away. And that's the problem. You're just stuck with this guy as your companion, and you have no choice as to whether he comes with you or not. I tried all the dialogue options. You are stuck with him. And so this was actually the first major red flag about this game, because this is when it became quite obvious that you don't actually have any agency over this world, which does actually bring me to my second big criticism, which is the design of the world itself. Because the way this game looks and feels, it naturally invites a comparison to something like Skyrim or Fallout. But honestly, it's just nothing like any of those two. Because unlike those games, this whole world just feels very static and flat. Like, this isn't a sandbox for you to explore and build things in and like craft your own narrative. You as the player are on the path that the developers want you to be on, and you have minimal agency over that. Like, for example, an NPC can start a conversation with you, and you can tell, like, okay, this is like start a quest, and you can literally say, I don't want to talk to you, and they'll go, okay, yeah, but here's my life story, and then just talk to you for like 5 minutes straight. It's like, I want to leave, I want to go away, and then the blue idiot who you're stuck with will start chiming in as well. It's like, I'm your boss, or another example.
Please be quiet.
I can take you to any of the whole capital.
No, you've just done this kind of dialogue for too long, and you're unhappy.
What can I do?
And when you combine these two things, trust me, I've done it enough to my own. I get really pissed off at the Bethesda NPCs too. But I mean, they've been actively blocking the doorways for me. I can't walk forward to continue playing sometimes in this game because they just actively block the goddamn doorways. You're just complaining about some NPC and its chatter. I think it's a lot different, and you're unhappier, so it's harder.
From this killer bear, and then he's like, oh, who's this blue fish idiot with you? Can you trust him? And I thought, okay, brilliant, this is the part where I can say, no, I don't trust this fish idiot, let's kill him, or let's get rid of him.
I don't trust this fish eater, is that what he's calling him?
Okay, brilliant, this is the part where I can say, no, I don't trust this fish idiot, let's kill him, or let's get rid of him.
This fish idiot?
Like, I'm your boss. Or another example of this is like, you rescue this guy from this killer bear, and then he's like, oh, who's this blue fish idiot with you? Can you trust him? And I thought, okay, brilliant, this is the part where I can say, no, I don't trust this fish idiot, let's kill him, or let's get rid of him, or, you know, whatever. But all of the options are just, yes, I trust him in different coats of paint. And so this lack of sort of player control and player freedom just manifests in everything. Like, rather than having to like look for stuff and dig around like you would in Skyrim or Fallout, the specific few things you can loot just glow and have a loud noise, so you can find them really easily. Or you can't hurt anyone you're not supposed to hurt, or you can't steal anything you're not supposed to steal, or just everything is just literally static. Like, remember how you could blow plates off the table in Skyrim? Here, nothing can be affected unless the developers want it to be affected, which is actually just a great metaphor for how static this whole world feels. And so whilst being dressed up like Skyrim, it's actually a lot more like Far Cry, where you come to a town, you pick up a bunch of quests, and then you go out into the wilderness and fight people to do those quests. But the problem with this is that, unlike with Far Cry, the combat system is terrible. Because this was the main thing I saw people
thought
saying
we were having a
great about
fist
this game.
fight.
The combat is fantastic, but I don't know if I've just like missed some key detail here. But like, look at the fight against this bear here. It is a boss fight, but like, all I'm doing is just firing an arrow and dodging, and firing an arrow and dodging. Like, such exhilarating gameplay. And as you do this, there's just like no ammo count for like your arrows or your bullets, and so it just removes a layer of complexity. Everything feels so safe and simplified. Like we're in a padded cell. There's no way to run out of ammo. You're gonna be fine. Just keep spamming him with arrows and dodging out of the way. And it just takes forever to kill anything as well. You might think like, well, look, this bear here's a boss fight. It's meant to be hard, but or maybe he's like way above your level. Like this is like the second or the third quest, so surely I should be, as like a low-level character, suitable to do this. Like, why is it taking me genuinely 5 minutes to kill one character? Just arrow, dodge, arrow.
Yeah.
And so I think the best way I can describe like how this game feels is that as I was playing this, I genuinely just felt like doing like housework and like chores and just doing tasks that I should be doing, because that would be more freeing than playing this game. Like this game is so restricted, we're on such rails that like saving 10 minutes later because you washed up now is more liberating than like fighting these monsters or doing the stuff in this game. But yeah, to be fair to this game, and because I've spent so much money on it, I'm
all
gonna
the way
keep
to
playing.
Whiterun, and
I'm
I
around
died
10 hours in
outside,
now,
I
and that felt like
guess.
days, and I'm just gonna keep going, pushing through it. And if my opinions change, then I'll put out another video and be like really fair to it. So look, my opinions change. But so far, I'm so annoyed that I spent 70 euros on this. And in spirit of fairness, the only things that I've remotely enjoyed are the exploration. It's quite good. You know, it kind of tickles that Skyrim thing. We can just go out into the wilderness and do stuff. But it's again ruined by the fact that everything glows and lures you to it. So unlike in Skyrim, where you can sort of like just like walk around for ages aimlessly, then find something really cool, in this game you're just lured to it. It's like, oh, there's the chest. Job done. Let's go home. And also another good thing is that it's somewhat enjoyable being sort of a not nice character to people. You know, like role-playing as the bad guy. But that's only because I flipping hate everyone on this island running their mouths. And so by choosing to be horrible to them, it's somewhat rewarding. And I also like that, for some reason, everyone on the island hates the blue fish guy. So, you know, that's a little bit therapeutic. But aside from that, I hope this game ends with, like, a world-ending choice.
Blue fish guy. It's actually so funny.
Wipe this island off them. But otherwise, there's genuinely so much more I can say about this game and how just horrendous it is, but I guess I'll leave the video there and make a follow-up video if I actually change my mind on any. Bit of a rant, but thank you for watching.
Uh-oh. Get ready to
Latina Parfait is a funny name. About the RPG where 80% of the NPCs are black queens. Oh my god. Okay, maybe it's funny.
Avowed. Is it worth a buy?
No, this game isn't
Oh, wow, why did you change it?
worth a buy. Like, let's just say this game is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, you know, for example. Like, this game is just amazing
I liked
in terms
it.
of gameplay and story. It still wouldn't be worth buying due to the simple fact that this entire game
No, I
is
didn't buy
literally
it.
propaganda, and Matt Hansen, the art director for the game, says he wants to replace all the crusty white dudes in game development, and he actually succeeded in that, believe it or not. Well, in the game Avowed, at least. Since nearly every NPC that you'll ever encounter in this game is going to be a strong, independent queen. So in this world of Aurora, which is where Avowed is set in, which is like the Pillars of Eternity universe, they have somehow breeded out all the white men from the gene pool by making all the white men gay, of course, you know, how else? So in this world, the whiteys are...
I don't know. You got off like pretty fast there, buddy.
Hey everyone, welcome back. It is that time once again where we take a look at the new upcoming games set to release, this one for the month of March 2025. Let's do it. All right, so first up this month is Fragpunk, a new fast-paced 5v5 hero shooter with quite a poppy and vibrant art style. The gameplay I've seen looks legitimately solid, but at the same time, man, a pretty tough genre to be stepping into in 2025. So many massive, already established hero shooters out there. It's gonna be a lot of competition. Now that said, you never know when a game's gonna come out and find its own audience. And
This one's supposed to be special because it's got a deck building thing. And it's supposed to make the like every every hero shooter campaign totally different?
Maybe Fragpunk will do just that. One distinct thing setting this game apart is its card system of power-ups, buffs, debuffs, and just some outright crazy effects that drastically alter the rules for every match. So basically, you get to select from a random assortment of options at the beginning of each match that shake up things rather significantly, allowing both teams to activate effects such as increased headshot damage, exploding bullets, the ability to swap health with a target, damage reduction options, passive health regeneration, making alterations to the map layout itself, increasing the size of enemy head hitboxes, or even shrinking the size of your own. This system seems to really mix up the gameplay, with each team picking from a random assortment of options with over 150 total different cards to pick from in the whole pool. Now beyond that, their standard game mode called Shard Clash is your typical attack first defense, where one team's goal is to plant a bomb at one of multiple sites while the other team has to defend it. Each match of this mode goes for 7
weird
rounds,
because
each of those rounds lasting about 2 to 2.5 minutes. And then other than that, I mean, yeah, it is a tactical first-person shooter where you're also playing as a hero.
Oh, look, it's a horse. Is it my horse? Nope. I want to ride that horse. Yep. Thank you. Take me south. I mean, it looked realistic enough for a old game. Wait, did you get on her? You did. Are you taming the horse? It's your horse now, huh? I guess. Yeah, melee gameplay is super addictive right now. Look, I'm pissed off in New World, but their melee combat's super good. I like their melee combat. I think it's my favorite. I got to horse. I think I'm going to stop my shift here, guys. It has been 13.5 hours, and I'm very tired. And I'm going to get up and do the same thing in the morning. So, I'm going to stop the video here with a reminder you've been watching Skycatlive. I'm a full-time variety gamer all day, every day. Put me on in the background. Click on the cast face to donate. Come to the Twitch TV or YouTube or give me a like, sub, or a follow. I'm very tired, so I'm going to go to bed, but I need to upload, so I'm going to stop the video here with a reminder that I have thousands of videos on my YouTube channel, which is reflected here. A couple of these are kind of slow, and they're like a day behind, but, you know, all of them will get up over time. And I love you guys. Thank you so much. And so I'm going to keep the stream going while I upload, but I'm not going to stop the stream. I'm just going to stop the video so I can upload the video. And so I'll stop the stream here in about 10 minutes when I'm done uploading. So thank you so much. I love you guys. Thank you. You've been watching Skycat Live.